What is the most boring thing that you can do to get rich? You heard that right. What is the most boring thing that you can do to get rich? Literally, what is the thing that you don't have to do to get rich? I know you've heard it. Grind harder. Get your bag, girl. Get your bag. Make money moves. Hustle, hustle, hustle. And those things can be true. But we may be leaving out the most crucial part of this whole conversation. You know your Instagram goals? Oh, this 2026, 2027, 2025, this is what I'm gonna do. You have your life plan, you have your goals, your vision 2026, your vision 20 whatever. All of those things are great. You post it on Twitter, you post it around your walls. That's fantastic because it needs to remind you of the things that you've set out to do. Great. But nobody actually talks about systems, the things that move when you don't feel motivated to. Motivation? Who remembers that on January 2nd? Out the window. Even the best of us, by January 30th, we're on to the next. It's like that never even happened. Now we want to talk about systems, the most boring thing you can do to get rich. But before we go on, if you're new here, welcome. Okay, my name is Desaya. I'm a Harvard-trained ex-Wall Street professional helping real people like you and myself take control of your money, making your money work smarter, not harder. Systems are the things that separate the people that have options, that make themselves have options, than the people who do not. Money should give you options. Your money should help you be free to choose where you want to be, who you want to be with, where you want to work, what's giving you mental stress or what's not, what you love, what you don't. Those options are the things that your money and your assets should give you. But maybe we don't really flex that muscle because we don't really have a lot of room to do so. And that's what we're going to talk about systems today. Boring, good old systems. In fact, the more boring they are, the better. And let's get real for a moment. I saved $100,000 this year. Woo! That sounds like, whoo! I mean, who's this girl? Why is she so hot? I know, it sounds really sexy. And kudos to you if that's the goal for the year. But how are we going to make that happen without missing a beat? How are we going to make that happen without torpedoing your life? How are we going to make that happen without you frantically getting in the weeds every single day and getting stressed about it? Because if you have money, then it should free you from like some type of mental stress to an extent at least. And the answer to that is systems. Systems, good old boring systems. Because if you rely on motivation alone or discipline, what happens when they get out the back door and you weren't even aware? They didn't even tell you that they were leaving the show. Motivation is just like, okay, it's time. I'm done. I'm out. Discipline, like, oh, cannot deal today. Not today, girl. Desire, not today. What happens then? What happens when life shows up? Because curveballs, that's the beauty of life. It's like every single way you look, there's a curveball. You're just actively dodging the curveball, like, I missed that one. But what happens when one hits you like a wrecking ball? You have to do something about it. And that's why systems should exist. If you've read this book, Atomic Habits, it's one of my favorite books because it talks about how to build systems from literally ground zero. You don't have to do so many things. It doesn't have to be this like grandiose, like industrial process. It just has to work for you where you are. And then you build on top of it. You build on top of it because again, you cannot rely on discipline and consistency. What are the things you're going to put in place in your life to make sure that you do the things that you want to do effortlessly? You want to make sure that you're not walking on a tightrope, on the edge and having to always stay in place. No, you're building scaffolding just to make sure that things are in place all the time. Whether you do it or not, it just happens. That's exactly where we need to be with so many things in our life. But we're going to take a few of them. Let's talk about 5 things. And I know the first one is super boring. You've heard it over and over and over again. Automatic savings. Your savings should be automatic. In fact, go to right now, go on your company website, wherever you put in your payment information, bifurcate your payment. This automatically, don't even pay me. Don't let it come to the account that I see. Pay it here. Let it be done and dusted. It doesn't even come to me. So you see the actual reality of where you're spending. So say you make $5,000, of course, arbitrary number, because I know you gotta be getting it. You are getting it. It's not 5K, it's 20K. Someone's looking at me right now saying, this five what? No, girl. I'm right now at 50. Like, add another zero, maybe another zero, girl. What you mean 5K a month for me? No, girl, you are kidding. Okay. Thank you for the correction. I know you're getting it. You're getting the bag, and I love it. I love it. I love it for us. Okay. I love it. But okay, even in that 500K per month, because hello, still bifurcated. What goes in your savings determined by you. What comes to you, because life still has to happen. You still gotta eat with your 500K. You still gotta eat. I know. I still gotta eat with my little pennies. I still gotta eat. Someone still needs to eat to stay alive, because if you don't eat, girl, I don't know. You gotta eat so you can re-strategize. Okay. So your savings need to be automated, even as conservative as 10%. If it's just 10%, you make 5K, $500, no questions asked, is going into a savings account. Make sure it's automated. Make sure you're not getting the 5K and hoping to move $500 manually every month, because what if you don't do it? What if something happens and your account is literally waiting on that next paycheck, and all of a sudden, oh, I still got to pay my rent, my car note, my car insurance, my this and this and that, and then you're down to $200 and you have to sort of get through the month with that. Obviously, that month you're just not going to pay yourself. Is it going to get easier to pay yourself the next month? My darling, no. And that's why it needs to be automated. So whatever hits your account is what you have to spend. Automate your savings. I know you've heard this, but I need you to do it right now. Do it right now. Right now. Yeah. Good job. Expense triggers. That's number 2. What are the things that you want to be triggered immediately you get paid? You get your paycheck, X is paid for, Y is paid for. Let it, sit in the account that you're align it. So your car payment, your insurance, align those things to make sure that once your paycheck is out, or once you receive your paycheck, it's gone. So you're not deferring something. So you're not spending money that you don't have because you forgot about a payment. So align all your payment and make sure that your expense triggers, you can sort of align them in a way that makes sense through the month. You get your paycheck on X date, you already know. Well, let your bills come out that same day. Let your expenses be gone so that by the time everything settles, maybe at the end of the week or something, whatever picture you're looking at in your account is really that picture. You don't want a big bill to sort of just be lurking around at the end of the month, say on the 29th of the month, but you're down to zero at that point and you're like, oof, I totally forgot about that payment, because even the best of us, we forget. Our brain works and it's great, but it is your brain still has some fallacies. So I know you're smart, and I know not for you, just for your neighbor, and just for me maybe. But you still need to make sure that whatever triggers and whatever expenses need to automatically come out, that it's aligned, properly aligned, so you don't have to think about it. So that by the time you're looking at your income, all right, everything is paid, I'm good. You see everything go out. So the whenever you spend your monthly reviews, which is our next point, is automatically, out. Now, number 3, your monthly reviews. These are so important. And I talk to my clients about this all the time. The TLC that you have with your money, no coach can help you with it. In fact, the best of coaches make you sit with your money. The idea that you don't understand what you're spending, how much you're spending, that is rough. You might as well not work, because if you work and you make a top line of $100,000, post taxes, because you're bad and bougie like that, fantastic. But if you actually don't see any part of that 100K at the end of the month because everybody is taking their money, okay, what's left for you? You're the one who's working. You are the labor at the end of the day, but you got nothing to show for it. I don't know. I don't know how I would feel about that, and I don't know how you feel about that. So you need to know where your money goes to. You need to actually drive your money. Don't let your money drive you. The only way that you drive your money is understanding what each line item is. Your rent, your mortgage, this is it. Your car note, this is it. How much you spend on coffee per month, this is it. How much you spend on food per month, groceries, eating out, this is that number. How much do I spend on gifting per month? This is that number. How much do I spend on utilities a month? This is that number. If my utilities are going haywire, you need to know, not in month 6. You need to know that same month or the month after at most. And the only way that you know is spending time with your money. Monthly reviews cannot be overemphasized. You need to sit with your money and collate your money. Understand your spend. Especially in the days that we're in, like now that everybody spends their credit card, the money just comes out and your balance just grows. Yeah, maybe you pay off your balance every month because, you listen to the sign and you know what to do. Of course you do. Yes, even if you pay off your balances every month, understanding your money behavior is so crucial. Are you just that person that, you have a little 50 bucks here, a little 100 bucks here, and now you're off to the next store, especially, especially these online shops and, the Fashion Novas of the world, if you're one of my girlies. Or, your thing is like sneakers, or your thing is wristwatches, and, your things, hats, whatever it is. And you're just, swiping. Or it's food. And you're just, purchasing everything, but you sort of don't know, because at the end of the month, I just pay off my credit card. Yeah, you do. But does it tell you anything about your money behavior? Maybe not. Are you a hoarder? Are you just a spender? Are you a saver? Who are you? And every month that you review your money, that is what tells you who I am and who I'm trying to become. If you're trying to become someone, well, you need to understand your starting point, your current state. All right, I'm so bad with this. Well, if you don't know what this is, how can you improve it? Just like if you're trying to lose weight, if you don't know where you're starting from and what you're doing maybe not so perfectly well, how do you make material changes over time? And that's why you need to sit with your money. Sit with your money. I know it sounds boring, like I said, the boring things that you need to do to make yourself wealthy, because nobody's going to come make you wealthy. I wouldn't leave my wealth to come and make you wealthy. You need to do it for yourself. You need to be in the driver's seat of your life. Point blank, period. Nobody needs to do it for you. Nobody needs to talk you into sitting with your money. That should be a constant part of your life. And you can make it as simple as you need to make it. It could be as simple as I spend on just one card and I know what I'm doing. Or I bifurcate my expenses. X comes out from, ABC comes out of this account and I go. Like, you need to figure out the structure that works for you without jumping through, oh, I know I did this. And there's a lot of I know I did this when it actually is not quite right, because at the end of the day, when you look down and you put 1 + 1, it kind of doesn't equal to 2. And you're like, oh, what happened? Oh, this happened that much. And oh, yeah, I paid for that extra Uber. And oh, I paid for that extra flight. All of a sudden, you're looking at gaps of 500, 1,000, 2,000, $5,000 in your account, and you just can't account for it. It's gone, it's spent. And yes, you paid it up, I understand, but you still just don't understand what information, what data point that gives you about yourself. Sit with your money. And number 4, professional accountability. I know it doesn't feel like you should, but you should. Because accountability is when nobody's looking over your shoulder, you can do whatever. No one's going to ask you for it. And this is not like getting a parent to police you on your money. No. Where do I want to go? And am I accountable to someone? People who want to lose weight, people who want to, athletes, they have coaches. You have to make sure that there's somebody else watching over your shoulder. There's somebody else whose interest is aligned with yours. And of course, I'm plugging in myself as a financial coach. My clients know me. I take my job very seriously. If you aren't doing a good job, we need to fix it and we need to align, because you and your not planning self will not disrupt my coaching skills. I take that very seriously. And your interest, you doing well, is as very aligned with me. I take that as a personal win. So you're not going to stand in my way. We're going to make sure that you fix your money life. You must fix it. So think about some level of professional accountability, someone that knows what they're doing. Go sit with them. Make sure that they understand what your money goals are. Make sure that they keep you honest. Right now, let me let you into a little secret. I'm trying to lose weight. I know the story of everybody. And I have accountability. I have some professional coach who's working me through that, because everything that I put in my mouth, I need someone to, and when I know someone else is looking at it, I might think twice before I throw that candy in my mouth. And that's what we're talking about. What are your goals? And is somebody else whose, again, incentives are aligned with yours, is somebody else in the picture? Because if it's just you can forgive yourself all day. But forgiving yourself does nothing for you but keep you fat. I said what I said. Forgiving yourself is great. Giving yourself grace is great. But when somebody else is looking at the data, maybe they can tell you that fix your life, boy. Fix your life. Fix your system, boy. And girl, get it together. If someone else could tell you that in love and in good faith, maybe, just maybe, you could be onto something. And number 5, use your calendars. Calendars are beautiful. Use your calendars. Schedule. Okay, I want to, look at my money every last Saturday of the month. Put it there. I want to make sure that I go for, my grocery shopping every Saturday at X time. Put it on your calendar. Use your calendars as reminders. I mean, our, our technologies and our phones, our iPads are like a sixth balance at this point, right? It's like next to your fingers. Use it to your advantage. Set up your calendar, set up your reminders. Make sure that the plan that you have for yourself is not left to sort of live in the ecosystem of your head, because there's so much that your brain is trying to get through, that if you just, distress and align certain things with technology, certain things that can be done for you, or at least with you, use your calendars. That helps. If those things can just be alleviated from your head, can be removed from your head, at least you get reminders when it's time for you to do them. And, also give yourself room so you can do the, 2 hours, 1 day, 3 days, so it's coming up, and it's not just, it just jump at you at the end of, the time that it needs to be. So use your calendar. Use your calendars to your advantage is super important. Imagine if you just had $50, literally 50, a modest $50. You're putting that away monthly to, let's say a modest investment that sort of averages or at least guarantees some type of 7% annual interest rate. In about 10 years, you would have $36,000 that you didn't even think about. You didn't even smell. Many of us spend much more than $50 on just like even ice cream a month, coffee. I mean, $50 is nothing in your average spend. The average American right now, working professional, would spend north of $3,000 a month. I'm talking $50. $50, almost like 1% of a lot of people's expenses. Put that away, not thinking about it, 10 years and you have 36K outside of everything else that you have going on. Imagine waking up and thinking, oh, there's, $36,000. And if it did more than 7%, maybe even more than that. No stress. You didn't think about it. You didn't have to muscle through it. You didn't have to white knuckle your way through that. And that number is just chilling there. Maybe it's even 50K at that point. I mean, that's good money that I didn't have to think about. I know 10 years feels like a long time, but if it's automated, 10 years happens like this. I mean, I remember when I was sweet 16. I'm still sweet 16 now. I'm just, 21. But 10 years would happen before you know it. And if it just could happen without you thinking about it, how about you do that? And that's the beauty of automation. That's the beauty of setting up systems. Systems that work even when you don't feel like it, even when you don't want to. You remove the mental gymnastics, you remove the micro decisions that you have to make in the moment, and you just let things happen. Imagine if $50 just comes out of your account. You're like, you first of all, you wouldn't even notice because you're not even doing your monthly check-ins. But say you did once in a while, you're probably like, oh, okay. Because it's nothing. It's literally nothing. Once it comes out of your account, it's gone. And that's where I want you to be. Setting up systems that's very frictionless, that's very repeatable, and doesn't even bug you at all. Systems make growth inevitable. You just have to set it, make sure you set it up properly, and forget it. Imagine if you had a garden. Think of it as a garden. And you do your little irrigation and hope for sunlight, hope for some type of watering. It will happen, and maybe it would like if you live in Texas and like it's in the thick of the summer, maybe it would actually just starve to death and no water and things like that. Or you can say, you know what? I'm going to actually do this properly. I'm going to set up a garden. I'm going to make sure that it gets sunlight. I'm going to make sure that water, if it's an automated sprinkler system, something gets water that just goes off, that I don't have to think about it. It doesn't work on my schedule. It just works. And then at that point, would that garden grow or not? Because now you've removed yourself from the whole picture. Sunlight is accounted for. Water is accounted for. Fertilizer, if necessary, is accounted for. Everything that it needs to just grow is accounted for. And you're no longer your own bottleneck. Will that grow? I think it will. And that's exactly what systems are. Systems are just those things that help you build growth sustainably and removing you, the bottleneck, me, the bottleneck, out of the picture. We don't have to make those decisions. I don't have to decide that this plan is going to be fed on my watch. I don't feel like it today, and so whatever, they don't have to be fed today. No, it just happens. Set up the system and let it do its work. That's what I'm talking about today. Stack your system. Your emergency fund, fine. How much can you afford monthly? $200, $500? Make that goal. Let it just be an automatic payment to yourself. And once it's done, it's done. You have a number that you're hitting or that you want to hit. Boom. You've set it up. $500 monthly, $6K a year. And, you do that for 5 years and you have 30K. You're good. Or $1,000 a month, 12K a year. Do that for 24 months and boom. That's done. That's like literally done. And you were just watching Netflix and going about your business and going to coffee with your girlies. You know, wouldn't that be lovely? Or, you know, you have a little $100, $500 that goes into an automated, you know, brokerage account. Doesn't need to ask for permission from you every single time. It just does what it does. It's not timing the market. It's not thinking about what to invest in. That's already preset and it's done. You're not even a part of that process anymore. You just wake up and like, oh, what is in my whatever brokerage account you use? You just look at it, check in whenever you want, and it's doing what it's doing. If the market is up, it's up. If the market is down, it's down. You know, you don't have to think about it. Or maybe it's your debt payment, because if you have to take care of that, student loans, student debt, car note, credit card, just set it up. It goes out once you get paid. That goes out and that's done. All of a sudden, one day your debt is gone. You didn't have to stop cooking for that. Wow. You didn't have to stop, you know, hanging out with your boys for that. Wow. You didn't have to stop going to drinks because wow. Yeah, that's how systems work. They just work. And I mean, it's so beautiful now because technology can do this for you without you waking up to do it or feeling like doing it. How boring does that sound? How unsexy does that? I mean, that's not even a topic of conversations at dinners and at drinks. Exactly. That's exactly the beauty of this system. I mean, boring, flat, functional systems, the big flashy ones, you don't need a whole like if, when, then convoluted logic to make this work. No, just keep it flat, keep it simple, keep it boring. Exactly. That beats flashy all day, every day. And that's exactly what I want you to incorporate into several areas of your life and just watch things work for you. You there, you're not there, it doesn't matter. And here's the part that a lot of people forget. Nobody claps for the person who's doing the boring, systematic things. I mean, if you're saving and putting away $50 in a very nice investment account monthly, nobody wants to hear that. Nobody claps for you. But that's your quiet life hack. You heard that right. That is your quiet life hack. That is the life that works for you when you don't even show up. Because in 10 years of doing that consistently month on month with an even 7%, you're sitting on at least $36,000 or even more than that. 40 if the market was good, 50 even better. But you've just been doing that without even lifting a finger. You don't need extreme self-control. You don't need discipline and, you know, muscling through things and white knuckling your way around things. No, you just need to build things that work for you even when you don't have motivation, because motivation is fragile. Discipline, such a far reach, because how many of us are disciplined every day? I know I'm not. I'm not disciplined day in, day out. Trick yourself into making good decisions because your future self will be so glad that you did. It'll be boring, it'll be consistent, it'll be repeatable, and you're just there like, oh, I didn't even know. Oh, I didn't even know I had this money here. Oh, I didn't even know that my life worked just without me showing up. You might just even have the superpower to build an empire in the background. You're not even thinking about it. That's where we need to get to. Start now. Start small. One small tweak. One thing added to your calendar for the month. One thing that you've done consistently. One thing that you've automated. Just start and then begin to stack them. Let them compound easily, quietly. Nobody needs to know about it. Come a little closer. You don't need to tell your neighbor. Just do it. Just file it away. Let the one thing become two and then let it become three. And then forget about the number one thing. Let it just operate. Let it just happen. Because motivation, nobody talks about it. Discipline, they can do whatever they want to do. Those things can do whatever they want to do, because sometimes you just wake up on the wrong side of the bed and that is it. Your commitment is gone for that day. But let your commitment not deal with your emotion. The day that your emotion is thrown up, your commitment still happens, because your commitment is no longer tied to your emotion. It's not tied to a system. That happens whether or not you show up. Don't wait for a financial guru to whisper something or shoot nothings into your ear. Build something that lasts. Build something that's sustainable. Build something that's functional. Build something that makes good decisions, fantastic decisions, inevitable. Not something that plugs you into every micro decision. You don't need to time the market. You just need to continue to automate your investment. Let it just go. Let it just do what it needs to do. So a quick recap. We want you to automate your investments. Automate both your debt, your investments, automate your savings, all of that. Let it just plug away. Let it just do what it does. We also want you to make sure that you are using your calendars. Use your calendars, use your phones, use your reminders. Bake in time so it's not just happening to you in the moment and you didn't plan for it. Bake in time. Use those things and Decompress. Remove the clutter in your brain. Put it clearly out somewhere in a calendar somewhere, making reminders for those things. Fantastic. Then make sure that you sit with your money. Have your monthly reviews. Have those things that you think about. Just make sure you see and you know where your money is going to. Talk to a professional, because accountability, if you're the only one looking at it, are you going to look at it? Make sure there's somebody else that's aligned with your incentives, that's also invested in working for a better you, in working for a better future self. Make sure that you are actively looking at everything that you could, holistically, the big picture. Because here's the truth. Motivation, that fades. Motivation fades. But systems, they don't fail. They don't need to work on your timelines. They just do what you've asked them to do. I know Elon Musk is building all this robotic, self-driving, because again, you're removing you from the system. You're removing your brakes. As a body, you can fail. But the systems that you built, they don't fail, especially the automated ones that can happen with or without you. It just happens. That's where you win quietly. You're not optimizing for optics or status. You're optimizing for function. You're optimizing for systems. You're optimizing for repeatable, boring wealth, quiet wealth, stealth wealth, things that just happen in the background. We don't need to call the entire neighborhood to know what we're doing. We're just building that empire one person, one automation at a time. And if this is content that you love, brag about it, because that's why you're here. That's why you watched all the way until now. Brag about it by subscribing to the channel. We would love to have you. Subscribe, hit that notification bell. Make sure you know when we drop a new video, because why not? We need to get our money lives together. I love to have you guys. I appreciate everyone watching. It means a lot to me. Let's grow this community. Let's be bigger. Let's get our money right, because why not? Why not? Why not? Thank you so much for watching, and I will see you again in the next one. Let's go.